Oh yes, this is a image of a Mr. Lawrence Lederman, who's a solicitor at um, Lawrence and Co. Solicitors, based in London. He's been appointed by District Judge Goosley, who's a district judge sitting at the Westminster Magistrates Court, at a hearing yesterday, that is the 9th of July 2026. Judge Ousley directed that in as she was the Inner London Magistrates Court, even though technically the case is being dealt with at the Westminster Magistrates Court. But in any event, he ordered that I be subject to um, the because I can't get representation. First of all, the judge has said that it's not illegal to try me, even though the statute law says I'm entitled to representation under Article 6.3c of the Human Rights Act, and no solicitor is agreeing to represent me across the UK and indeed even into Wales. So he's compensated for the fact I can't get representation to have the police witnesses cross-questioned by a solicitor. And he's appointed, he's actually handpicked the particular firm he wants to choose. I presume that's legal, although he's obviously conflicted anyway, but that would be a further conflict of interest potentially. And so I contacted Lawrence and Co. this morning on the 10th of July 2026 and spoke to a female who may be Angela or Angelina. I didn't quite correct it, and I haven't played the recording back, but I'm about to play the sound recording of how I was treated by this female. I'm trying to just pass up a few notes to Mr. Lawrence or one of his colleagues, sorry, Mr. Lederman or one of his colleagues, to discuss the issues that I'm raising with Angela or Angelina. And she interrupts me and says that there's a lot to take in, and that she will I will get a call to discuss with the solicitor in due course. I'm trying to explain to her that it's an urgent matter because obviously I'm trying to get representation anyway, and you'll hear her about two-thirds of the way through the recording when she says, I can't deal with that matter. You can't expect me to respond to the issues you're raising. I'm the receptionist, etc. You will note from the recording at the beginning of the conversation, I said, could you please just pass a note on to the solicitors at the firm? So there was no question that I was expecting her to respond to or address or consider those issues. I'd nearly finished explaining what I wanted to be reported to Mr. Lederman or one of his colleagues. If she'd just allowed me to continue speaking for another 30 seconds, we could have done that. But instead, she lied to claim that I was expecting her to respond to those issues when I knew she wasn't a solicitor and it had nothing whatsoever to do with her other than to pass on the message to the solicitor, which she's employed to do, but effectively at taxpayers' expense because Liderman do legal aid and therefore she's being paid by the taxpayer. And all she had to do was take a note, which was her job. And then instead, she uses that as an excuse to hang up on me. And without any regard to the nature of the case, the fact that I'm complaining that I'm the victim of the piece, that I've been sexually assaulted and kidnapped and generally abused, and there's evidence of child abuse as well that I'm exposing to do with armed attacks against minors. And she doesn't care a hoot about that. She simply hangs up as though I'm just a pestering call. I'm just somebody, badgering her for no reason. In fact, harassing her effectively, because that's the only reason you would sort of hang up on somebody about a sensitive nature like this. And she's already lied, and obviously that lying over the phone is almost certainly a malicious communication of some sort, an offence, because she's implying that I've expected her to respond to those issues when I've made it clear, and the recording will prove that I've made it clear I only want her to report the issues that I'm raising with a solicitor. So there it is. There's Mr. Littleton. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to email him a complaint. I'll put a copy of the complaint on a further update of this video and see where we go from there. But I'm putting this online now just to show you how corrupt. This is all taxpayers' expense. This is over some criminal damage allegation from nearly 2 years ago, in January 2025. The case has now been postponed by orders of Judge Guzzi to February of next year. Um, there's been multiple aborted trials. There's been solicitors that have been appointed, spent all day in court, not doing anything, just lolling about, and then being paid, then dropping out, saying they have a conflict of interest. So I was going to clear up the conflict of interest issue with Lawrence Lederman and colleagues. And if he's got a conflict of interest, then there's no point in going further, and I can make that known to the judge. Um, that's more or less it. As I say, I'll update you. But we're now talking probably the region of 10, 11, 12,000 pounds worth of taxpayers' money, all to recoup a few hundred pounds of criminal damage from to a wall and so forth. And this is just the beginning. We haven't got anywhere near trial yet. Even if I was convicted, I could just appeal it to the Crown Court and get a whole retrial. So we will be talking probably at the end of proceedings somewhere in the region of 30 to 50,000 pounds at the current rate we're going. But anyway, I'll contact Mr. Lederman and I'll update anybody that's interested in these matters on my channel at Gotcha News. Hello. Yes, hi. My name's Ben Gray. I'm just calling in regards to the direction from Judge Guzzi in terms of representation by your firm. And no, not as far as I was aware, anyway. You might have been appointed without my knowing with the, the court, but as far as I know, the judge just appointed you yesterday. So yeah, Benjamin Gray, I did just say. Yes. It's at the Westminster Magistrates Court, although the hearings are being held at the City of London Magistrates. That's correct, yeah. Sure. Um, sorry, who am I speaking to? Okay, yeah. Hi, Angeline. Yeah, yeah. It's a very quick issue. I can leave it with you to if you could just pass a note on to them about why I'm calling, and then obviously they can have a think about it, talk with their senior colleagues, etc. Um, Basically, my position is I cannot get representation anywhere in England. I've been trying for many years. I've been involved in a lot of cases. In this particular case, it's accepted by the judge that I cannot find representation. He's not. He's saying that as some sort of compensation to that, he's appointed a court-appointed lawyer, and also because of the nature of the allegations against the uh, prosecution witnesses. So he's recommended that your particular firm. So at the hearing, two firms have already dropped out. I forget the name of them, but one was solicitor was called Stuart Harris, and then before then there was another firm that dropped out, saying they had conflicts of interest. But the judge has appointed you, and he's going to make a third attempt. There's been two aborted trials because of the issue with me being represented for court for questioning under the Section 36. There's two issues really. One is I was asking if there wouldn't be a conflict of interest down the line because obviously every other firm is saying that, so they might want to investigate that. I've got convictions, criminal convictions surrounding certainly three barristers and some who are now judges from Albion Chambers in Bristol. I'm also got complaints, serious. I've been involved in an arrest and so forth surrounding Queen Square Chambers, and there's also two KBW chambers who I complain are always sitting as judge and prosecutor in other cases. So, is it possible to find out who's the kind of the is there a solicitor dealing with this or?
I don't have any information just yet on the system.
Okay.
It was only appointed yesterday.
Sure.
Your information maybe hasn't come through yet.
No,
I can't personally see anything at the moment, but I will consult with the solicitors and find out.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, I do understand if it's just come on the books. Who's the kind of the head honcho at your firm? Who's the top man or woman that's senior
We've got
colleague?
various partners in our criminal department, all on the same level. So there's at least three.
There's at least, yeah. Okay, so so we don't know which one of those it might be that would know about this case, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, I'll leave you to discuss it with whoever's appropriate. But the issue is obviously does your firm have any connections to those chambers? Obviously, if there is a conflict of interest surrounding there, because secondly, I am making very serious counter allegations against judges such as Lord Justice Warby, Lord Justice Davis, Lord Justice Irwin, and so forth, who have been involved in civil litigation issues, mainly centered around the police and vexatious litigant findings, which basically means I can't litigate because I'm subject to orders as a vexatious litigant. But also, I'm complaining that they're in fact guilty of misconduct in judicial office and they're colluding in child abuse and all kinds of things like that. I've made a defence statement which the judge is aware of, and obviously I can provide that, and that sets out these allegations. So obviously, it's important that the firm knows that obviously in the line of questioning for the witnesses, that would be a key issue to be raising with them these complaints. So they might be unhappy with doing that or feel uncomfortable. And thirdly, the issue about me getting representation. Obviously, if you didn't have a conflict of interest, I can see no reason in the first instance, provided the conflict issue is, that I've just raised isn't an issue, for you to actually represent me against the charges per se, which I'm entitled to under Article 6, because the Article 6 isn't addressed by the court appointed solicitor.
Have quite a lot of information here. I will get them to call you, and then you can discuss it in detail.
No. Yeah, so
I can't comment or make or give you sort of any input into it, as I'm not.
Angelina. First of all, Angelina, please. I've just let you know I'm recording this conversation. If there's any obstruction,
yeah. I'm letting you know I'm not able to sort of confirm.
No, please don't. Please hear me out. But yes, Angelina, Angelina, if you're just going to continue to talk over me, obviously I'll have to hang up and then complain to the judge that you're being rude and obstructive. Sorry?
I'm not being rude to you.
But you're not letting me speak. Yes, sorry. Angelina, interrupting me, not allowing me to. You just did it then. You just did it then. So what is your name?
I will get one of the professionals.
No. Don't bother. I'm going to complain. I'm going to write to complain about you because you're not allowing me to speak, and that's very rude.